Hi and welcome back to the garden. In this video I'm going to show you how you can divide Alchemilla mollis. Alchemilla mollis is one of those cottage garden favourites that no garden should be without. It has these lovely pale green frothy flowers during the early part of summer, and it is such a fantastic, easy plant to grow. It doesn't suffer with many pests or diseases, it's very straightforward, and we have it in our garden because it's such a wonderful plant, and we so much look forward to those lovely lime green flowers that come out during the summertime. It has the added bonus of having leaves which collect raindrops like jewels, and on a rainy day they're absolutely beautiful and fascinating to see. Growing Alchemilla mollis is very straightforward. It can grow by seed or it can grow by division, so propagation by division, and you can divide Alchemilla mollis either in the springtime or after flowering going into the autumn. So here is the clump that I've just dug up, and what I'm going to do is quite a big clump. It's probably been growing for about 3 years without any kind of interference, but what I want to do is just thin it out and have more plants for free. So as most herbaceous perennials, this plant grows lovely fresh foliage in the spring and then dies back down to underground during the winter time. And as you can see, we're now in March and you can start to see the beginnings of new foliage beginning to grow. So like most herbaceous perennials, they tend to grow outwards and then you end up with a dead central part. So what we're going to be doing with this today is just taking some parts off and making some new plants. Firstly, I can just see a piece there that is just dying just to be pulled away. So that is literally coming away from the crown. If I just gently tug that, it will come away very, very easily. With its own set of roots. So if I just remove some of these old branches, old stems that were from last year, you can clearly see that that is the plant and we have all these roots forming underneath. So let's get some more. So again, this is quite easy. It's just a case of sometimes just pulling and it will just tear apart quite easily by itself. And it does help if it's a little bit moist. It does help it come away a little bit better. So that's another one, that's another smaller clump. So what we can do now is, if we get the knife out, we can actually go in this and start to just split it into some more substantial pieces. So I'm just going down with the knife, pretty much dividing it just into some more pieces. So got another smallish piece coming off there, another piece coming off there, and then if we try and just divide this now into two, and you'll notice that I have watered the plant before I've done this because this is going to be a bit of a shock for the plant in the first place. So we need to make sure it doesn't dry out during this process and then get it back into the ground as soon as possible. A nice worm can go back in the garden. So that's another piece. There's some black membrane which I can't stand being in bed, so I'm going to put that to one side. And then we have perhaps another one, let me see. It's a case of just feeling with your fingers and seeing if there are natural parts that are starting to come away. So that looks like it's going to be there, and we can just slice right down, and then a bit of tugging we can then just pull that away. So as you can see, there's multiple pieces. That's probably the main part. Could probably go a little bit further with that, but I think I'm going to leave that one as a complete clump. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of Alchemilla mollis that I've just divided from the one clump. So some of these clumps are going to go back into the bed, and I'm also going to pot a few of these up for planting in our new beds further down the garden. It just goes to show that dividing hardy perennials really does make sense when it comes to getting more plants for free. It's also very, very easy. We do have a lot of other videos which we've done over previous years showing other different types of hardy perennials and how to divide those. So please take a look back. We actually have a playlist which is titled Propagation. So if you want to have a look at that, there are videos that are in there. So like I've said, this is a really worthwhile plant to have. It's also great to grow along the edges of paths because those frothy flowers tend to flop and create a lovely little dramatic effect as you walk down a path. You see these lovely flowers kind of at your feet going along a pathway. It's also really good for a shady position, and it also copes with dryish soil fairly well too. So what's not to love about Alchemilla mollis? There's also another common name which is called lady's mantle, which many of you may know this plant by. It's a fantastic cottage garden plant and we wouldn't be without it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you very, very soon on the next video. In the meantime, please do take care and happy gardening.